Welcome to the REwise program of CivicCentre-IAS. This video presents you 50 most important topics that represent the current affairs of November 2024. So these are the list of topics which we are going to do. All these topics will be discussed in MCQ format for better understanding. Now let us move on to the first question. With reference to Ramappa temple, consider the following. And given, it was built during the reign of Kakatiya Empire. Second, it is notable for its intricately carved marble sculptures. 3. The temple stands on star-shaped platform. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Rudreshwara temple is also known as Ramappa temple, has derived its name after the sculptor who executed the work in the temple for 40 years. It is located in Palampet, that is Mulugu district, near Warangal in the state of Telangana. Significantly, it was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2021. Initially, it was constructed in 1213 AD during the reign of Kakatiya Empire by Recharla Rudra, a general of Kakatiya king Ganapati Deva. Here the presiding deity of the temple is Ramalingeshwara Swami. Additionally, the temple stands on a 6 feet high star-shaped platform with walls, pillars and ceilings adorned with intricate carvings. Now coming to the technique it used. Firstly, sandbox. It is a mixture of sand lime, jaggery and karakaya, that means black myrobalan fruit, is used. This technique cushions against earthquakes by dissipating the energy of seismic vibrations. Also, red sandstone for lower structure, basalt for pillars, granite for flooring and for gopuram white, and constructed with light bricks which allegedly have the ability to float on the water. The distinct style of Kakatiyas for gateways to temple complexes is unique only to this region, which conforms the highly evolved proportions of aesthetic in temple and town gateways in South India. Significantly, European merchants and travelers were mesmerized by the beauty of the temple and remarked that the temple was the brightest star in the galaxy of medieval temples of the Deccan. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here, statement 1 is correct. That is, as we have learned, it was built during the reign of Kakatiya Empire. And statement 2 is incorrect because it is not notable for its intricately carved marble sculptures, but it is notable for its gateways to the temple complexes, sandbox technique and floating bricks. And statement 3 is correct. That is, the temple stands on a 6 feet high star-shaped platform with walls, pillars and ceilings adorned with intricate carvings. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that the Prime Minister recently inaugurated the new circuit house near Somnath temple at Viraval. Which of the following statements are correct regarding Somnath temple? And given, Somnath temple is one of the Jyotirlinga shrines. Second, a description of Somnath temple was given by Al-Biruni. Third, Pran Prashishta of Somnath temple, that is installation of the present day temple, was done by the President S. Radhakrishnan. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. Somnath temple is located in Prabhaspatan near Viraval in Saurashtra on the western coast of Gujarat. Basically, it is believed to be the first among the 12 Jyotirlinga shrines of Shiva. Significantly, the site of Somnath has been a pilgrimage site from ancient times on account of being a Triveni Sangam, that is, the confluence of 3 rivers such as Kapila, Hiran and Saraswati. Here the name of the town Prabhas meaning lustre, and the alternative names of Someshwar and Somnath is the Lord of the Moon or the Moon God, and has arisen from this tradition. Also, Al-Biruni, a Persian scholar, mentions that China and Zanzibar has trade contract with Prabhasa and has major exports of cotton, textiles and leather goods to Arabia, and imports such as corals, pearls, ivory, tusk, diamond, clover to Gujarat. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here the statement 1 is correct. That is, as we have learned, Somnath temple is one of the Jyotirlinga shrines. And statement 2 is also correct because a description of Somnath temple was given by Al-Biruni. And third statement is incorrect because the then President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, did the Pran Prasishta at the existing temple on 11th May 1951. Now coming to the second question, consider the following statements regarding gravity energy storage. And given, it stores energy in the form of raised concrete blocks. Second, it can provide long duration energy storage. Third, it uses advanced battery technology for energy storage. And asked, which of the following statements are correct? You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Gravity energy storage is an emerging technology that utilizes gravity to store energy and address the intermittency problem of renewable energy sources like solar and wind. Coming to its advantages, it has long-term energy storage with minimal maintenance and is cost-effective compared to other storage systems. Example, battery storage. It is environmentally friendly, that means it has no harmful chemicals involved and reduces environmental impact and disposal challenges. Coming to its flexibility, gravity energy systems are less restricted in site selection, making them suitable for a variety of locations including abundant mining sites. Now, how does it work? Here, the energy is stored by lifting a heavy mass such as water, concrete blocks or compressed earth blocks during periods of excess energy generation. Here, a piston inside a fluid-filled cylindrical container is raised when surplus electricity is available. The piston's descent drives water through a turbine producing electricity. Also, if we learn about advantages of gravity energy storage, firstly, it has longer lifespan with minimal maintenance. Secondly, it will reduce environmental impact due to the absence of harmful chemical reactions. Thirdly, it is most cost effective in long term, especially for large scale applications. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here the statement 1 is correct. That is, as we have learned, it stores energy in the form of raised concrete blocks. And statement 2 is also correct because it can provide long duration energy storage. And statement 3 is incorrect because it does not use battery technology for energy storage. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to solar power production in India, consider the following statements. And given, India is the third largest in the world in the manufacture of silicon wafers used in photovoltaic units. Second, the solar power tariffs are determined by the Solar Energy Corporation of India. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here statement 1 is incorrect because India has not manufactured any silicon chip for solar energy. And statement 2 is also incorrect because solar power tariffs are determined by the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. Hence, the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the third question, consider the following statements. And given, statement 1 as Adoption Gap Report 2024 is published by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. And statement 2 as it emphasizes growing financial gap for climate adaptation in developing countries. And asked, which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Adoption Gap Report is published annually by the United Nations Environment Programme, and it emphasizes the growing financial gap for climate adaptation in developing countries and highlights key findings related to climate change impacts and adaptation strategies. Coming to its key findings, adaptation finance gap, that is, the funds available for climate adaptation are significantly lower than the needs. Also, the 2022 funding was USD 28 billion. And Glasgow Climate Pact projected adaptation needs to be USD 387 billion annually by 2030 for developing countries. And the current funding meets only 5% of the projected needs under the Glasgow Climate Pact. Private sector funding constitutes about 1/3 of the adaptation finance gap, suggesting significant opportunities for private investments in climate adaptation. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is incorrect. That is, as we have learned, Adaptation Gap Report is published annually by the United Nations Environment Programme. And statement 2 is correct because it emphasizes growing financial gap for climate adaptation in developing countries. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following gives Global Gender Gap Index ranking to the countries of the world? And given, option A, World Economic Forum, option B, United Nations Human Rights Council, option C, United Nations Women, and option D, World Health Organization. So the Global Gender Gap Index was released by the World Economic Forum, that is option A is the correct answer. Additionally, it measures across 4 key dimensions, that is economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment. Now coming to the fourth question, consider the following with reference to Agro Voltaic Farming, and given it is a combination of solar energy and crop cultivation. Second, all crops are suitable for Agro Voltaic Farming. Third, India targeted to create 500 gigawatts of renewable energy generation capacity by 2030, and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Agrovoltaic farming combines solar energy generation with crop cultivation. Here, the solar panels are mounted above or alongside crops, providing shade while allowing light to reach the crops below. This system uses land more efficiently by integrating two productive activities, that is solar power generation and agriculture. Now coming to the benefits of agrovoltaic farming. First, increased land productivity. That is dual use of land for both solar energy production and farming, and enhanced water conservation. Second, microclimate improvement. The panels create a cooler microclimate underneath, which is beneficial for crops that are sensitive to heat and drought. Third, economic diversification. Here, farmers can benefit from an additional income stream through a sale of solar energy. Fourth, renewable energy production, which promotes clean renewable energy and contributes to sustainable energy goals and reducing dependence on fossil fuels. Fifth, reduction of carbon emissions, which contributes to the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, supporting climate change mitigation efforts. Sixth, sustainable agriculture. It integrates solar power with agriculture, which promotes sustainable land use practices, which helps to reduce the environmental impact of farming. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here the statement 1 is correct, that is, as we have learned, it is a combination of solar energy and crop cultivation. And statement 2 is incorrect because all crops are not suitable for agrovoltaic farming, but it is only beneficial for crops that are sensitive to heat and drought. And statement 3 is correct, that is, India targeted to create 500 gigawatts of renewable energy generation capacity by 2030. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that in the context of India, which of the following is or are considered to be practices of eco-friendly agriculture? And given crop diversification, legume intensification, tensiometer use, and vertical farming, and asked select the correct answer using the code given below. So here crop diversification, legume intensification, and tensiometer use are considered to be practices of eco-friendly agriculture. Hence option A is the correct answer. Now coming to the fifth question, with reference to National Investigating Agency, consider the following. And given it is a central agency responsible for investigating cases relating to terrorism. Second, it was established under the National Investigation Agency Act 2008. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. National Investigating Agency is the central counter-terrorism law enforcement agency in India under the parent ministry of Union Ministry of Home Affairs. Initially, it was created after the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks and established under the National Investigation Agency Act 2008. Its headquarters lies in New Delhi. Now, how does it regulate? That is, it investigates and prosecutes offences related to explosive substances, atomic energy, nuclear weapons, unlawful activities, terrorist activities, hijacking, etc. Also, it has a power to regulate any offence given in the schedule of the National Investigating Agency Act, and it was amended in 2019 to enlarge the mandate of the National Investigating Agency by inclusion of offences related to human trafficking, manufacture and sale of prohibited arms, cyber terrorism, and offences under the Explosive Substances Act 1908. Coming to its powers, firstly, to investigate scheduled offences and arrest people who are involved in such offences. Second, it has all the powers, duties, privileges and liabilities which ordinarily police officers have while conducting an investigation. Significantly, the administration lies with Director General. Here, while investigating any offence under the Act, the National Investigation Agency can request a state government to associate itself with the investigation. Also, it can take the approval of the central government to transfer a case to a state government for investigation and trial. For doing this, the National Investigation Agency will take into account the seriousness of the offence and other relevant factors. Additionally, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967 was amended in 2019 to empower Director General to seize or attach the properties related to proceeds of terrorism in cases being investigated by NIA. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here the statement 1 is correct. That is, it is a central agency responsible for investigating cases relating to terrorism. And statement 2 is also correct because it was established under the National Investigation Agency Act 2008. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that who among the following constitute the National Development Council, and given the Prime Minister, the Chairman, Finance Minister, Ministers of Union Cabinet and Chief Ministers of the state, and asked select the correct answer using the codes given below. Now let us learn about National Development Council. It was set up in 1952 as an apex body for decision making and deliberations on development matters, and it is presided over by the Prime Minister of India. Basically, it comprises of Union Ministers, Chief Ministers of all states and UTs, administrators of union territories, and members of Planning Commission. Coming to its functions, firstly, to prescribe guidelines for the formulation of the national plan, including the assessment of resources for the plan. Second, to consider the national plan as formulated by the Planning Commission. Third, to consider important questions of social and economic policy affecting national development. And lastly, to review the working of the plan from time to time and recommend such measures as are necessary for achieving the aims and targets set out in the national plan. Hence, option B is the correct answer. That is, the Prime Minister, Ministers of the Union Cabinet and Chief Ministers of States constitute the National Development Council. Now coming to the sixth question, consider the following statements regarding Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, and given it transports warm water towards Antarctica by returning cold water towards Arctic Ocean. Second, it is a part of global conveyor belt, and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation is a system of ocean currents with the Atlantic Ocean which transports warm water towards Arctic and returning cold water towards Antarctica. Here we can see in this picture, warm water is being transported upwards and cold water towards Antarctica. Also, this Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation is a part of the larger global conveyor belt of the ocean currents, which is driven by the changes in the water saltiness and temperature. Now let us learn about the process of Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation. Firstly, warm water movement. Here, warm surface water, that is Gulf Stream in the North Atlantic, moves towards poles. As the water reaches the poles, it cools and forms sea ice. Secondly, increased salinity and density. Here, when sea ice forms, salt is left behind. By this, the surrounding water becomes denser, and this dense water sinks to the ocean depths and begins southward journey. Thirdly, upwelling and completion. In this process, the deep water is gradually pulled upwards towards the surface in a process called upwelling, and the upwelling water then warms up again, completing the cycle. Additionally, the global conveyor belt, including the MOC, operates on a slow timeline. That is, the process is very slow, with each parcel of water taking about 1,000 years to complete its full journey. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here the statement 1 is incorrect. That is, as we have learned, Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation is a system of ocean currents within the Atlantic Ocean which transports warm water towards Arctic and returning cold water towards Antarctica. And statement 2 is correct because it is a part of global conveyor belt. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following factors, and given rotation of the earth, air pressure and wind, density of ocean water and revolution of the earth, and asked which of the above factors influence the ocean currents. Here the rotation of the earth, air pressure and wind, density of ocean water, these three are the factors which influence the ocean currents. And revolution of earth does not influence the ocean currents. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Now coming to the seventh question, which of the following words was added to the preamble of the Indian Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976 and given socialist, liberty, sovereign and democratic republic. Okay, now let us learn about preamble. Preamble is an introductory statement which explains the philosophy and objectives which was inspired by the preamble of the Constitution of USA. It presents the intention of its framers and core values and principles of the nation. Here, the ideals were laid down by the Jawaharlal Nehru's Objectives Resolution and adopted by the Constituent Assembly on January 22, 1947. Coming to its components, the source of authority of the Constitution lies with the people of India and declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular and democratic republic. Justice, liberty, equality to all citizens and promote fraternity to maintain unity and integrity of the nation are its objectives. Significantly, it was adopted in November 26, 1949. Here it is important to learn about key changes made by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976. That is, the terms socialist, secular and integrity were added to the preamble and changed unity of the nation to unity and integrity of the nation. From this, the correct answer is option A. That is, the terms socialist, secular, integrity were added to the preamble by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that which of the following objectives is not embodied in the preamble to the Constitution of India and given liberty of thought, economic liberty, liberty of expression and liberty of belief. Here liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship are one of its objectives. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Now coming to the 8th question, consider the following and given it aims to test the durability of wood in the extreme environment of space. Second, it is the world's first wood panel satellite. Third, it is entirely made of wood. And asked how many of the above statements relates to LignoSat. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. It is the Japanese world's first wood panel satellite which was launched on 5th November and aims to test the reliability of timber as a renewable building material for future space travel. And it was developed by Kyoto University and home builder Sumitomo Forestry. The size of the LignoSat is very small, that is 4 inches or 10 centimeters on each side and weighs 900 grams. Actually, it is derived from the Latin word that is wood and its panels built from a type of Mongolia tree. Significantly, it is used as a traditional Japanese crafts technique without screws or glue to hold it together. Coming to its objectives, first, to test the durability of wood in the extreme environment of space. Second, to gauge the timber's ability to reduce the impact of space radiation on semiconductors. Here, wood is more durable in space than on Earth because there is no water or oxygen that would rot or inflame it. And remember that LignoSat is not entirely made of wood. Instead, the satellite uses traditional aluminium structures and electronic components in a wood panel casing, and its sensors will monitor how the wood reacts to the extreme space environment in the 6 months orbiting the Earth. Coming to its advantages, first, decreased space debris, that is, LignoSat is made to burn entirely and safely upon re-entry, leaving no dangerous metal fragments or debris in the atmosphere. Second, sustainable materials such as wood, which is biodegradable and renewable, and it is an environmentally friendly method of space travel. Third, minimal pollution, that is, LignoSat emits carbon dioxide and water vapor when it burns up in the atmosphere. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here the statement 1 is correct, that is, it aims to test the durability of the wood in the extreme environment of space. And statement 2 is also correct. That is, it is the Japanese world's first wood panel satellite. And here the statement 3 is incorrect because LignoSat is not entirely made of wood. Instead, the satellite uses traditional aluminium structures and electronic components in a wood panel casing. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that with reference to AstroSat, the astronomical observatory launched by India, which of the following statements is or are correct? And given, other than USA and Russia, India is the only country to have launched a similar observatory into space. Second, AstroSat is a 2000 kg satellite placed in an orbit of 1650 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. And asked, select the correct answer using the codes given below. Now let us learn briefly about AstroSat. It is the first dedicated Indian astronomy mission which aimed at studying celestial sources in X-ray, optical and UV spectral bands simultaneously. And it was launched on 28th September 2015 in a PSLV C-30 launch vehicle. The payloads cover the energy bands of ultraviolet, near and far, limited optical and X-ray regime. The unique features of AstroSat are, it enables the simultaneous multi-wavelength observations of various astronomical objects with a single satellite. With its lift-off mass of 1515 kg, was launched into a 650 km orbit inclined at an angle of 6 degrees to the equator. The minimum life of the mission is expected to be 5 years. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is incorrect because AstroSat is the first dedicated Indian astronomy mission, and statement 2 is also incorrect. That is, as we have learned, AstroSat is a 1515 kg which was launched into a 650 km orbit inclined at an angle of 6 degrees to the equator. Now coming to the 9th question, consider the following regarding key pollutants of air quality index, and given nitrogen dioxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide and lead, and asked which of the statements given above are correct. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. Air Quality Index is a tool designed to provide the public with real-time information about the quality of air in their localities, and it is characterizes air quality into 6 levels ranging from good to severe. Also, air quality index is based on the concentrations of 8 key pollutants, that is particulate matter less than 10 microns, particulate matter less than 2.5 microns, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ammonia and lead. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, as we have learned, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide and lead are some of the key pollutants of air quality index, and carbon dioxide does not come under key pollutants of air quality index. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that in the cities of our country, which among the following atmospheric gases are normally considered in calculating the value of air quality index, and given carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide and methane, and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide are considered in calculating the value of air quality index. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Now coming to the next question. The primary objective of One Nation One Subscription initiative is to, and given option A, to provide access to research articles and journal publications, option B, to provide open access to digital library, option C, to provide financial assistance to students, and option D, to provide public-private partnership research and development. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about it. One Nation One Subscription was launched by the Union Cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister of India. It is a central sector scheme. Its objective is to provide countrywide access to scholarly research articles and journal publications for higher education institutions and research and development laboratories. Coming to its key features, first, financial allocation, that is 6,000 crore budget and duration of 3 calendar years. Second, administration, that is, it is managed through a unified digital portal coordinated by Information and Library Network Center, an autonomous inter-university center under UGC. Additionally, it covers around 6,300 institutions including higher education institutions under central and state governments and R&D laboratories for the central government. Nearly 1.8 crore students, faculty and researchers are beneficiaries under this scheme. Coming to the benefits of One Nation One Subscription initiative, first, it ensures universal access to scholarly journals and articles for students and researchers across the country. Second, it promotes interdisciplinary research and inclusion of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in research development. Also, it aligns with Viksit Bharat 2047, National Education Policy 2020 and Anusandhan National Research Foundation goals. From this, the correct answer is option A. That is, the primary objective of One Nation One Subscription initiative is to provide access to research articles and journal publications. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that Momentum for Change Climate Neutral now is an initiative launched by and given the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Second, the UNEP Secretariat. Third, the UNFCCC Secretariat. And fourth, the World Meteorological Organization. Here the correct answer is option C. That is, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change Secretariat is the correct answer. Basically, it is a pillar under Momentum for Change which aims to achieve climate neutrality. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements regarding Sabal 20 and given it is an electric unmanned helicopter developed by IIT Kanpur. Second, it performs high altitude operations in diverse terrains and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Sabal 20 is an electric unmanned helicopter developed by Endure Air, incubated at IIT Kanpur, and it is based on variable pitch technology and tandem rotor configuration with payload capacity of up to 20 kg. Additionally, it has vertical takeoff and landing for operation in rugged and confined terrains with high altitude performance and reduced turbulence risk. Also, it has low RPM design which reduces noise and enhances stealth for sensitive missions. Here, long-range deliveries, precision logistics, high-altitude operations in diverse terrains are its applications. The technology used by Sabal are textile-based metamaterial microwave absorber which offers near-perfect wave absorption across a broad spectrum and has 90% of material sourced indigenously. Coming to its features, counters synthetic aperture radar imaging. Second, effective against missiles with radar guidance. Third, enhanced stealth capabilities for defense applications, and it has extensively tested in laboratory and field. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here the statement 1 is correct. That is, it is an electric unmanned helicopter developed by IIT Kanpur. And statement 2 is also correct. That is, it performs high altitude operations in diverse terrains with high altitude performance and reduced turbulence risk. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that consider the following activities and given spraying pesticides on a crop field. Second, inspecting the craters of active volcanoes. Third, collecting breath samples from spouting whales for DNA analysis. And asked, at the present level of technology, which of the above activities can be successfully carried out by using drones? Here, spraying pesticides on crop field, inspecting the craters of active volcanoes and collecting breath samples from spouting whales for DNA analysis. All these activities can be successfully carried out by using drones. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements and given Article 148 deals with the office of the CAG. Second, his reports are laid before the both houses of parliament. Third, he is eligible for reappointment. And asked which of the above statements are correct. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Comptroller and Auditor General of India is the Supreme Audit Institution of India, established under Article 148 of the Constitution of India. Here, Article 148 mentions about appointment, removal and conditions of service. Here, the CAG is appointed by the President of India via a warrant under his hand and seal, and the CAG can only be removed in the same manner and on the same grounds as a Supreme Court judge. And before assuming the office, the CAG must take an oath in a form of set out in the third schedule, either in the presence of the President of India or a designated official. Coming to the salary and service conditions, it is determined by the Parliament and are specified in the second schedule until amended, and the salary and terms cannot be altered to the CAG's disadvantage after appointment. Additionally, the CAG is not eligible for any further office under the Government of India or any state government after retirement. Now coming to the administrative powers of CAG, the conditions of service of personnel in the Indian Audit and Accounts Department are prescribed by the rules made by the President of India in consultation with the CAG. Significantly, the CAG's office expenses, including salaries and pensions, are charged to the Consolidated Fund of India. Moreover, the CAG performs duties and exercises related to the accounts of the union, states, and other authorities or bodies as prescribed by the Parliament. And these accounts of the union and states are maintained in the format prescribed by the President of India based on the advice of the CAG. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, the statement 1 is correct. That is, Article 148 deals with the office of the CAG. And statement 2 is also correct. That is, his reports are laid before both the houses of Parliament, that is in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And statement 3 is incorrect because the CAG is not eligible for any further office under the Government of India or any state government after retirement. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that in India, other than ensuring that public funds are used efficiently and for intended purpose, what is the importance of the Office of the Comptroller and Auditor General? And given, CAG exercises exchequer control on behalf of the Parliament when the President of India declares national emergency or financial emergency. Second, CAG reports on the execution of projects or programs by the ministries are discussed by the Public Accounts Committee. Third, information from CAG reports can be used by investigating agencies to press charges against those who have violated the law while managing public finances. Fourth, while dealing with the audit and accounting of government companies, CAG has certain judicial powers for prosecuting those who violate the law. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here the correct answer is option C. And statements 2 and 3 are correct because CAG reports on execution of projects or programs by the ministries are discussed by the Public Accounts Committee, and the information from the CAG reports can be used by the investigating agencies to press charges against those who have violated the law while managing public finances. Here statement 1 is incorrect because exchequer control is exercised by CAG on behalf of the Parliament of India during national emergency and financial emergency, not the President of India. And statement 4 is also incorrect because CAG has no judicial powers for prosecuting those who violate the law. Now coming to the next question. Which of the following statements regarding e-Dakhil is correct? And given, it is an online portal for consumer grievance redressal. Second, it is launched by the National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. Third, any consumer can sign up on the e-Dakhil platforms. And asked, which of the above statements is or are incorrect? You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. E-Dakhil portal is an innovative online platform designed to streamline the consumer grievance redressal process, providing an efficient and convenient way for consumers to approach by eliminating the need to travel and physically present to file their grievances. Initially, it was launched on 7th September 2020 by the National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. Significantly, any consumer or advocate can sign up on the e-Dakhil platforms by receiving an OTP. Additionally, the portal has facilitated all aggrieved consumers to submit complaints to Consumer Commission online in the comfort of their own homes and to pay the appropriate fees and track the progress of the case online. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is correct. That is, it is an online portal for consumer grievance redressal process. And statement 2 is also correct. That is, it is launched by the National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission on 7th September 2020. And statement 3 is also correct because any consumer or advocate can sign up on the e-Dakhil platforms by receiving an OTP. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following in respect of National Career Service. And given, National Career Service is an initiative of the Department of Personnel and Training, Government of India. Second, National Career Service has been launched in a mission mode to provide the employment opportunities to uneducated youth of the country. And asked, which of the above statements is or are correct? Here the correct answer is option D. And the statement 1 is incorrect because the project is being implemented by the Directorate General of Employment, Ministry of Labour and Employment. And statement 2 is also incorrect because it is one of the mission mode projects under the umbrella of e-governance plan, which was launched in the year 2015. Its objectives is to work towards bridging the gap between job seekers and employers, candidates seeking training and career guidance, and agencies providing training and career counseling by transforming the National Employment Service. Now coming to the next question, consider the following pairs and given list 1 and list 2 and asked select the correct answer using the code given below. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Recently in November, Total Wildlife Sanctuary is in news because the National Green Tribunal has condemned Uttar Pradesh officials for unlawfully granting mining permissions in a protected turtle sanctuary along the Ganga. Let us learn briefly about Turtle Wildlife Sanctuary. It is located in Varanasi district, that is in Uttar Pradesh, along a 7-kilometer stretch of the Ganga river, which is home to several turtle species, including the Indian flap-shell turtle and soft-shell turtles. Also, it supports the gangetic dolphins, other species of turtles, and several species of fish. Coming to its significance, it was the first freshwater turtle sanctuary in India, which was dedicated to the conservation of freshwater turtles, and it plays an important role in biodiversity conservation in the Ganga river. Also, it focuses on the Indian soft-shell turtle, which has been facing a declining population. The unique features of the sanctuary were, it was created under the Ganga Action Plan with an innovative strategy to organically clean the Ganga by releasing turtles into the river. Significantly, around 2,000 turtle eggs are collected annually from the Chambal and Yamuna rivers and brought to the breeding center for incubation. From this, the correct answer is option B, that is Kuno Palpur Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Madhya Pradesh. Turtle Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Uttar Pradesh and Tal Chapar Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Rajasthan. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that in which of the following states is Pakoi Wildlife Sanctuary is located, and given Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya and Nagaland. Here Pakoi Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Arunachal Pradesh. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Now coming to the next question, with reference to India's biodiversity, Curcuma caccingans and Dicliptera polymorpha are, and given butterflies, flowers, spiders and seaweeds. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. Dicliptera polymorpha is named for its diverse morphological features and it is notable for its pyrophytic, that is fire resilient nature and distinctive dual blooming pattern. Additionally, it features spicate inflorescences, a structure of unique among Indian species with close affinities to African species, and this species was the first collected in Talegaon Dabade in 2020, a region for grasslands. Coming to its habitat and adaptations, Dicliptera polymorpha thrives on open grassland slopes in the northern western Ghats, durable to extreme climate conditions like droughts and frequent fires. Significantly, the species has adapted to bloom twice, that is, first from early November to April, that is in the post-monsoon, and second in May and June, with 5 triggered dwarfed flowering shoots for the second phase. From this, the correct answer is option B, that is Curcuma caccingans and Dicliptera polymorpha are flowers. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that due to some reasons, if there is a huge fall in the population of species of butterflies, what could be its likely consequence or consequences? And given, pollination of some plants could be adversely affected. Second, there could be a drastic increase in the fungal infections of some cultivated plants. Third, it could lead to a fall in the population of some species of wasps, spiders and birds. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Here, the correct answer is option C. And statement 1 is correct because pollination of some plants could be adversely affected with a huge fall of population of butterfly species. And it has given that pollination of some plants. So, statement 1 is correct. And statement 2 is incorrect because there is no such scientific evidence regarding drastic increase in the fungal infections with a huge fall in the population of butterfly species. And here statement 3 is correct because it could lead to a fall in the population of some species of wasps, spiders and birds with huge fall in the population of butterfly species. Now coming to the next question. Consider the following statements and given statement 1 as 21st Livestock Census gathers data on livestock and poultry populations across the country. Statement 2 as it is conducted by the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, and asked which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. 21st Livestock Census is conducted by the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying under the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Government of India for every 5 years. Its objective is to gather detailed data on livestock and poultry populations across the country, with a primary purpose to assess the livestock population and gather crucial details to improve animal husbandry practices and to support rural livelihoods and also to ensure sustainable development of the sector. From this, the correct answer is option A. That is, statement 1 is correct. That is, 21st Livestock Census gathered data on livestock and poultry populations across the country. And statement 2 is also correct. That is, it is conducted by the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following is the chief characteristic of mixed farming? And given option A, cultivation of both cash crops and food crops. Option B, cultivation of 2 or more crops in the same field. Option 3, rearing of animals and cultivation of crops together. And option D, none of the above. Now let us briefly learn about mixed farming. It is an agricultural practice which combines cultivation of crops and livestock rearing on the same farm. This method allows farmers to not only to spread their production but also reduce risk associated with relying solely on either crops or livestock for earning. And by integrating these two activities, mixed farming promotes a balanced use of resources, enhancing the sustainability and productivity of the farm. From this, the correct answer is option C, that is rearing of animals and cultivation of crops together. Now coming to the next question, with reference to Ranthambore National Park, which of the following statements are correct? Statement 1, it is located at the junction of Aravalli and Vindhya hill ranges. And statement 2, it is one of the Project Tiger reserves in India. And asked, select the answer using the code given below. Pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Ranthambore National Park is located in Savai Madhopur, that is southeastern Rajasthan, at the junction of Aravalli and Vindhya hill ranges. Initially, Ranthambore National Park was established as Savai Madhopur Game Sanctuary in 1955 by the Government of India, and later in 1973 it was declared as one of the Project Tiger reserves in India, and significantly it was on 1st November 1980 that Ranthambore was declared as a national park. Also, let us learn about Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. It is located in Rajasthan and is significant conservation area dedicated to the protection of Bengal tigers and their habitat. Initially, it was established in 1973 to 74 under Project Tiger, which encompasses a total area of 1530.23 square kilometers spanning the districts of Savai Madhopur, Karauli, Bundi, and Tonk. Coming to its geographical features, it is situated at the confluence of the Aravalli and Vindhya mountain ranges. Economic evaluations have highlighted the reserve's contribution to ecosystem services such as gene pool protection, carbon sequestration, and water provision. From this, the correct answer is option C. And here statement 1 is correct. That is, Ranthambore National Park is located at the junction of Aravalli and Vindhya hill ranges. And statement 2 is also correct. That is, it is one of the Project Tiger reserves in India. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that among the following tiger reserves, which one has the largest area under critical tiger habitat? And given option A, Corbett, B, Ranthambore, C, Nagarjunasagar, Srisailam, and option D, Sundarbans. Hence, the correct answer is option C. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements regarding COP29 Summit. And given statement 1, it is held annually to discuss and advance international climate action. Second, in this summit, India announced net zero target by 2070 and asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. The COP29 to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change held in Baku, Azerbaijan. It is held annually and it brings together global leaders, negotiators, and stakeholders to discuss and advance international climate action. Coming to the key objectives of COP29, first, Mitigation Work Program, which was established at COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, and aims to facilitate the sharing of ideas, experiences, and solutions for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Second, climate change. A central theme is the establishment of a new global climate finance target to support developing countries in their mitigation and adaptation efforts. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here statement 1 is correct. That is, it is held annually to discuss and advance international climate action. And statement 2 is incorrect because the key objectives of COP29 are mitigation work program and climate change. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to the agreement at the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change meeting in Paris in 2015, which one of the following statements is or are correct, and given these statements and asked select the correct answer using the code given below. Hence the correct answer is option B. Here statement 1 is incorrect, that is the agreement was signed by 55 member countries of the United Nations, not all countries. And statement 2 is correct because agreement at the UNFCCC meeting in Paris aims to limit the greenhouse gas emissions so that the rise in the average global temperature by the end of this century does not exceed 2 degrees Celsius or even 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. And statement 3 is incorrect because developed countries acknowledged their historical responsibility in global warming and committed to donate $100 billion a year from 2020 to help developing countries to cope with climate change, not $1,000 billion. Now coming to the next question. Sodium chloride, sodium bicarbonate and potassium chloride helps to prevent which of the following, and given bacterial infection, typhoid, dehydration and giddiness. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Oral rehydration therapy is the oral administration of a solution containing glucose, sodium chloride, sodium bicarbonate and potassium chloride or cyrate to prevent and treat dehydration. It was a pioneering solution in global public health which significantly reduces child mortality rates. Basically, it works by replenishing the body's fluid and electrolyte balance, which is disrupted by diarrhea and other illness. Coming to the components of oral rehydration therapy. First, rehydration solution. Here, a mixture of water and essential electrolytes are used to replace fluids that was lost during dehydration. Second, maintenance fluid therapy. That is, after rehydration, maintenance therapy helps prevent further dehydration while ensuring ongoing electrolyte balance. Third, molecular mechanism. In this, it facilitates sodium and sugar absorption in the gut through special receptors on the surface of gut cells, as this promotes the absorption of water and chloride ions, replenishing lost fluids and electrolytes. Now let us learn about impact of oral rehydration therapy. First, diarrhea. It has been proven to reduce child mortality from diarrheal diseases, lowering mortality rates by up to 2/3 since 1990. Second, cholera. In this, oral rehydration therapy dramatically reduced cholera-related mortality from over 50% to less than 0.2%. Third, efficacy in adults. That is, it is highly effective in adults, reducing the needs for intravenous fluids by 80%. From this, the correct answer is option C. That is, sodium chloride, sodium bicarbonate and potassium chloride helps to prevent dehydration. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that triclosan, considered harmful when exposed to high levels for long time, is most likely present in which of the following? And given food preservatives, B. fruit ripening substances, C. reused plastic containers and D. toiletries. Triclosan is an antimicrobial agent that is used to slow or stop the growth of bacteria, fungi and mildew. It is mostly present in toiletries like antibacterial soaps and toothpaste. Hence the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question. Consider the following pairs and given list 1 and list 2 and asked select the correct answer using the codes given below. You can pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Sambar Lake is the largest saline lake in India, which is located at Jaipur district in Rajasthan. It is named after Shakambhari Mata, whose temple is built on the banks of the lake. It covers an area of approximately 230 square kilometers. Actually, the lake lies in the Sambar salt range and has historical significance, that is, it is famous for salt production, with one of the largest salt production units in India. Coming to its ecological importance, the lake is a critical wetland ecosystem supporting rich biodiversity, and the Sambar Lake Wildlife Sanctuary is located around the lake, providing a habitat for numerous species of birds, especially flamingos, and recognized as an important bird area by BirdLife International. Here, flamingo population has renowned for attracting migratory birds, and this is one of the major attractions of the region. And coming to its challenges, declining water levels and pollution due to industrial and agricultural activities, and over-extraction of water for irrigation leading to environmental degradation. Also, we shall learn briefly about avian botulism. It is a type of botulism affecting birds, primarily waterfowl. And it is a neurological disease caused by toxins produced by the bacterium Clostridium botulinum, and this bacterium thrives in low oxygen environments such as in decaying organic matter or sediments in water bodies. Here, toxins are first released into the environment, which birds ingest while feeding on contaminated food such as decaying fish, invertebrates, and other carcasses in the water. If we see the symptoms, paralysis, that is inability to fly, and loss of motor coordination, and can lead to death in severe cases due to respiratory failure. The paralysis primarily affects the muscles used for flight, swimming, and breathing. Coming to the ecological impact, this disease is responsible for mass die-offs of birds in wetlands, affecting waterfowl populations like ducks, geese, and swans, which disrupts the biodiversity of wetland ecosystem and poses a threat to migratory bird populations. Here, high temperatures, low water levels, and increased agricultural runoff can create favorable conditions for outbreaks. Now, how can we manage and control? Firstly, monitoring wetland health, reducing nutrient pollution, and improving waste management in and around water bodies. Second, early detection of disease symptoms. Third, removal of infected carcasses which might help mitigate the spread. Fourth, preventive measures that include maintaining water quality and reducing bird exposure to contaminated sites. From this, the correct answer is option A. That is, Chilika Lake is the largest brackish water lake in India, and Sambar Lake is the largest saline water lake in India, and Pangong Tso Lake is the highest saltwater lake. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following rivers, and given Vamsadhara, Indravati, Pranahita, and Pennar, and asked which of the above are tributaries of Godavari. Here the tributaries of Godavari river are Pravara, Purna, Manjira, Pranahita, Indravati, and Sabari. Hence the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements, and given statement 1 as Global Plastics Treaty aims to set out deadlines for countries to decrease plastic production, and statement 2 as China is currently the world's largest producer of plastic waste, and asked which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Global Plastic Treaty is an ambitious initiative involving over 175 UN member nations. By the end of 2024, the aim is to create a legal document setting out deadlines for countries to decrease plastic production. Second, to cut out unnecessary uses, and to prohibit specific chemicals and set recycling goals. Significantly, India has been an active participant in the negotiations, advocating for a comprehensive and balanced approach to the treaty. The key aspects of the India's stance include avoiding overlaps with existing agreements. Here, India emphasized that the treaty's scope should remain distinct and not overlap with existing multilateral environmental agreements. Additionally, according to a study published in the journal Nature, India is the world's largest producer of plastic waste. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here statement 1 is correct, that is, Global Plastic Treaty aims to set out deadlines for countries to decrease plastic production. And statement 2 is incorrect because according to a study published in Nature, India is the world's largest producer of plastic waste. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following international agreements, and given these statements, and asked which of the above has or have a bearing on the biodiversity. Here in statement 1, the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture is a legally binding comprehensive agreement signed during the 31st session of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in Rome in November 2001. This treaty, in consonance with the Convention on Biological Diversity, seeks to achieve food security, and hence statement 1 is correct. That is, it has bearing on the biodiversity. And the statement 2, the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification is the sole legally binding international agreement linking environment and development to sustainable land management, and it was adopted in 1994. Hence statement 2 is correct, that is, it has a bearing on the biodiversity. And in statement 3, the World Heritage Convention was adopted by the UNESCO General Conference at its 17th session in Paris on 16th November 1972, which aims to promote cooperation among nations to protect heritage around the world that is of such outstanding universal value that its conservation is important for current and future generations. Hence, statement 3 is also correct. That is, it has a bearing on the biodiversity. Hence, the correct answer is option D. Now, coming to the next question. With reference to the history of India, Dharti Abba or Father of the Earth is the nickname of which Indian tribal freedom fighter? And given Ganga Narayan Singh, B. Tilka Maji, C. Birsa Munda, and D. Veer Narayan Singh. Please try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Birsa Munda was a folk hero and tribal freedom fighter who played pivotal role in the Indian independence movement, particularly in the tribal regions of British India. He belonged to the Munda tribe in the Chota Nagpur Plateau area, and he spearheaded an Indian tribal mass movement that arose in the Bihar and Jharkhand belts in the early 19th century under British colonization. He rallied the tribals to fight against the forceful land grabbing carried out by British government, which would turn the tribals into bonded laborers and force them into poverty. Additionally, he influenced his people to realize the importance of owning their land and asserting their rights over it. Coming to his key contributions, formation of Munda Rebellion, also known as Ulgulan or the Tamar Revolt in the late 19th century. He united various tribal communities under the banner of the Munda Raj and led a series of guerrilla warfare campaigns against the British forces. For this, he received the title Bhagwan or Birsa Bhagwan. Additionally, his struggle against exploitation and discrimination against tribals led to a big hit against the British government in the form of Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act 1908. This act restricted the passing on of land from the tribal people to non-tribals. Also, he founded the faith of Birset, a blend of animism and indigenous beliefs which emphasized the worship of a single god. Significantly, he became their leader and was given the nickname Dharti Abba or the Father of the Earth. From this, the correct answer is option C. That is, Birsa Munda was referred as Dharti Abba or the Father of the Earth. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to the history of India, Ulgulan or Great Tumult is a description of which of the following events? And given option A, the revolt of 1857, and option B, the Mapilla rebellion of 1921, and option C, the Indigo revolt of 1859 to 60, and option D, Birsa Munda's revolt of 1899 to 1900. As we have learned, Ulgulan or the Great Tumult is the great description of Birsa Munda's revolt of 1899 to 1900. Hence, the correct answer is option D. Coming to the next question, consider the following statements in respect of the Booker Prize. And given first statement as it is a prestigious literary award for English language fiction, and second, it should be published in United Kingdom. And asked which of the above statements is or are incorrect. Okay, let us learn about it. Recently, Booker Prize 2024 was won by British writer Samantha Harvey for space station novel that is Orbital. Basically, the Booker Prize is a prestigious literary award for English language fiction recognized as one of the leading awards in the English-speaking world. Additionally, it honors the best sustained work of fiction chosen by a panel of judges, and it should be published either in UK or Ireland. Here, the award significantly transforms the writer's career, offering a global recognition, increased readership, and a boost in book sales. Coming to its cash prize, 50,000 euros for winner and 2,500 for 6 shortlisted authors. Here it has given the list of winners. It can be useful for your state PSC examinations. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here statement 1 is correct because the Booker Prize is a prestigious literary award for English language fiction recognized as one of the leading awards in the English speaking world. And statement 2 is incorrect because it should be published either in UK or Ireland. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that consider the following statements in respect of Bharat Ratna and Padma awards. And given Bharat Ratna and Padma awards are titles under the Article 18 Clause 1 of the Constitution of India. Second, Padma awards which were instituted in the year 1954 were suspended only once. Third, the number of Bharat Ratna awards is restricted to a maximum of 5 in a particular year. And asked which of the above statements are not correct. Now let us learn about Bharat Ratna Award and Padma Awards. Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award of the country, was instituted in the year 1954. Any person without distinction of race, occupation, position or sex is eligible for these awards. It is awarded in the recognition of exceptional service or performance of the highest order in any field of human endeavor. And the recommendations of the Bharat Ratna are made by the Prime Minister himself to the President of India. No formal recommendations of this are necessary. Additionally, the number of annual awards is restricted to a maximum of 3 in a particular year. On conferment of the award, the recipient receives a sanad, that is a certificate signed by the President of India, and a medallion. Significantly, the award does not carry any momentary grant. And in terms of Article 18 Clause 1 of the Constitution, the award cannot be used as a prefix or suffix to the recipient's name. However, if an award winner considers it necessary, he or she may use the following expression in their biodata or letterhead or visiting card, etc. to indicate that he or she is a recipient of the award. Now, let us learn about Padma Awards. Padma Awards is one of the highest civilian honors in India, are announced every year on the eve of Republic Day. The awards are given in 3 categories. First, Padma Vibhushan for exceptional and distinguished service. Second, Padma Bhushan for distinguished service of higher order. And third, Padma Shri for distinguished service in any field of activity. There ought to be an element of public service in the achievements of the person to be selected for these awards. Coming to its eligibility, any person without distinction of race, occupation, position or sex is eligible for these awards. However, serving government servants, including those working in PSUs except doctors and scientists, are not eligible for these awards. The awards seek to recognize works of distinction and is given for exceptional achievements or service in all fields of activities or disciplines such as first art. It includes music, painting, sculpture, photography, cinema, theatre, etc. Second, social work, which includes social and charitable services in the areas of affordable healthcare and education, other contributions to community projects like environment, sanitation, etc. Third, public affairs, which includes work in the area of law, public life and politics and etc. And fourth, science and engineering, which includes space engineering, nuclear science, information technology, research and development in science and its allied subjects, etc. Fifth, trade and industry. It includes banking, economic activities, management, trading and business in areas of manufacturing, hospitality, technology, textiles, accounting, finance, tourism, etc. And sixth, medicine. It includes medical research and distinction or specialization in allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, Siddha, naturopathy, etc. Seventh, literature and education, which includes promotion of literacy and education, educational reforms, teaching, journalism, literature and poetry, authors, etc. And eighth, civil service, which includes distinction or excellence in administration, etc. by government servants. And ninth, sports, which includes sports, athletics, mountaineering, promotion of sports, etc. and others, which includes fields that are not covered in the above mentioned fields. This may include spirituality, yoga, wildlife protection or conservation, culinary, agriculture, grassroots innovations, archaeology, architecture, etc. Now, in the case of posthumous, the award is not confined posthumously. However, in highly deserving and rare cases, the government should consider giving an award posthumously. Now, let us also know about eligibility for higher category of Padma Award. A higher category of Padma Award can be conferred on a person only where a period of at least 5 years has elapsed since conferment of the earlier Padma Award. However, an exception can be made by the awards committee in cases of rare and most exceptional achievements. Coming to the decoration, Sanad, that is certificate and medallion. Second, a small size replica of the main medal is separately handed over to the recipient, which can be worn by him or her during state or ceremonial functions, etc. Third, no monetary grant is attached to these awards. Fourth, the award does not amount to a title and should not be used as a suffix or prefix to the name of the recipient in any manner whatsoever. Additionally, the total number of awards which can be given in a year, excluding posthumous cases and foreigners, NRIs, OCIs, that is overseas citizens of India, is 120. Now, who can nominate these awards? That is, the nomination process is open to the public and even self-nomination can be made. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here statement 1 is incorrect because only Bharat Ratna award title is under the Article 18 Clause 1 of the Constitution of India but not Padma awards. And statement 2 is also incorrect because Padma awards, which were instituted in the year 1954, is announced every year on the occasion of Republic Day except for brief interruptions during the years 1978 and 1979 and 1993 to 1997. And statement 3 is also incorrect because, as we have learned, the number of annual awards of Bharat Ratna is restricted to a maximum of 3 in a particular year. Coming to the next question, with reference to Armed Forces Special Powers Act, AFSPA, which of the following statements are correct? And given, the state cannot issue the notification regarding the AFSPA. Second, under this, armed forces has right to kill anyone acting in contravention of the law. And asked, select the answer using the code given below. Please try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us briefly learn about AFSPA. On September 11, 1958, the Armed Forces Special Powers Bill was passed by both the Houses of Parliament and it was approved by the President of India. From then, it became known as the Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958. Basically, it came into force in the context of increasing violence in the northeastern states a decades ago, which the state governments found difficult to control it. Here, the Act gives unbridled power to the armed forces and the Central Armed Police Forces deployed in disturbed areas to kill anyone acting contravention of the law, arrest and search any premises without a warrant, and ensure protection from the prosecution and legal suits without the central government's sanction. Currently, as of March 2025, AFSPA extended in Manipur, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh for another 6 months. Here, the state and union government can issue notification regarding AFSPA. For the states of Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland, the Ministry of Home Affairs issues periodic disturbed area notification. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here, statement 1 is incorrect because the state and union government can issue notification regarding AFSPA. And statement 2 is correct because under this act, armed forces and central armed police forces has right to kill anyone acting in contravention of law, arrest and search any premises without a warrant, and ensure protection from prosecution and legal suits without the central government sanction. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements and given. According to the Constitution of India, the central government has a duty to protect states from internal disturbances. Second, the Constitution of India exempts the states from providing legal counsel to a person being held for preventive detention. Third, according to the Prevention of Terrorism Act 2002, confession of the accused before the police cannot be used as a evidence. And asked how many of the above statements are correct. Here statement 1 is correct because as per Article 355 of the Indian Constitution, it is the duty of the central government to protect states from internal disturbances. And statement 2 is also correct because as per Article 22 Clause 1 in Constitution of India, No person who is arrested shall be detained in custody without being informed, as soon as may be of the grounds for such arrest, nor shall he be detained, nor shall he be denied the right to consult and to be defended by a legal practitioner of his choice. This right is limited in preventive detention situations until the individual is informed of the reasons of the detention. Despite certain limitations, Article 22 does not specifically prohibit states from offering legal representation. It is up to the state to decide whether or not to offer legal aid. And here statement 3 is incorrect because according to section 32 of the Preventive of Terrorism Act 2002, a confession given by an accused person to a police official with a rank higher than Superintendent of Police is admissible as evidence in court. Hence, the correct answer is option B. Coming to the next question, the World Intellectual Property Indicators is published by and given World Trade Organization. Option B, World Intellectual Property Organization. And option C, World Economic Forum. And option D, Patent Cooperation Treaty. You can pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. World Intellectual Property Indicators report is published by the World Intellectual Property Organization. Now coming to its key findings, according to the research, applications for patents, trademarks and industrial designs have significantly increased in leading economies. And for all three of the main intellectual property rights, that is patents, trademarks and industrial designs, India has ranked in the top 10 countries in the world. Also, by demonstrating significant advancements and setting new records in IP activity, India is further establishing itself as a world leader in the field of intellectual property. Hence, the correct answer is option B, that is, World Intellectual Property Indicators report is published by the World Intellectual Property Organization. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that the Global Competitiveness report is published by the and given International Monetary Fund, B, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, C, World Economic Forum, and D, World Bank. Here the Global Competitiveness report is published by the World Economic Forum and it provides an annual index ranking countries based on their competitiveness. Hence the correct answer is option C. Coming to the next question, consider the following statements and given statement 1 as Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana aims at providing a health cover of 5 lakhs per family. And statement 2 as it is the largest health assurance scheme in the world. And asked which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. Try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. Now let us briefly learn about it. Ayushman Bharat, a flagship scheme of Government of India which was launched and recommended by the National Health Policy 2017 is to achieve the vision of universal health coverage. This initiative has been designed to meet sustainable development goals and its underlying commitment, which is to leave no one behind. Ayushman Bharat adopts a continuum of care approach comprising of 2 interrelated components, which are health and wellness centers and Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Now let us also discuss about Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. It is the largest health assurance scheme in the world which was launched in 2018. Coming to its key features, it aims at providing a health cover of 5 lakh per family per year for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization to cover 12 crores poor and vulnerable that form the bottom 40% of the Indian population. Here the households, which is based on the deprivation and occupational criteria of Social Economic Caste Census 2011 for rural and urban areas respectively, is the eligibility criteria. Basically, it was earlier known as the National Health Protection Scheme before being renamed. It included the then existing Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, which had been launched in 2008. Additionally, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is fully funded by the government and cost of implementation is shared between central and state governments. The National Health Authority and the State Health Agency are its nodal agency, and it is accessible at public and private empaneled hospitals across the India. From this, the correct answer is option A, that is statement 1 is correct. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana aims at providing a health cover of Rs 5 lakh per family per year for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization to cover 12 crores poor and vulnerable that form the bottom 40% of the Indian population. And statement 2 is also correct. That is, it is the largest health assurance scheme in the world. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, consider the following statements. And given, under this scheme, farmers will have to pay a uniform premium of 2% for any crop they cultivate in any season of the year. Second, this scheme covers post-harvest losses arising out of cyclones and unseasonal rains. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here, the correct answer is option B. And statement 1 is incorrect because under this scheme, there will be a uniform premium of only 2% to be paid by the farmers for all Kharif crops and 1.5% for all Rabi crops. And statement 2 is correct because the scheme provides coverage for the entire cropping cycle from pre-sowing to the post-harvest and mid-season adversities. Additionally, it was launched in 2016. And replaced all the prevailing yield insurance schemes in India. This scheme is administered by the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare under the Ministry of Agriculture along with general insurance companies. And it aims to support production in agriculture by providing affordable crop insurance to ensure comprehensive risk cover for crops of farmers against all non-preventable natural risk. Now coming to the next question, consider the following and given. Flue gas desulfurization is a technology used to reduce sulfur dioxide emissions from the exhaust gases. Second, India is the largest emitter of sulfur dioxide. Third, power plants are the largest source of sulfur dioxide emission. And asked, which of the above statements is or are correct? Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. Flue gas desulfurization is a critical technology used to reduce sulfur dioxide emissions from the exhaust gases of fossil fuel power plants and other industrial processes. Coming to its key features, first, sulfur dioxide reduction, which is primarily produced by burning sulfur-containing fossil fuels such as coal and oil. Second, environmental protection. Here, sulfur dioxide contributes to acid rain, which can damage crops, aquatic ecosystems, and buildings. In this, flue gas desulfurization plays a crucial role in meeting air quality standards and international commitments related to environmental protection. Third, health benefits such as respiratory problems and cardiovascular diseases which are caused by sulfur dioxide and particulate matter is reduced in the air. Now let us briefly learn about working principle. In wet flue gas desulfurization process, flue gases are passed through the liquid slurry, usually lime or limestone, where sulfur dioxide reacts with the slurry to form calcium sulfate, that is gypsum, a useful byproduct. And in dry flue gas desulfurization process, it uses dry sorbents like lime or sodium bicarbonate to capture sulfur dioxide, resulting in a solid waste that is disposed of. And semi-dry flue gas desulfurization is a combination of both wet and dry methods. Here, the wet flue gas desulfurization process generates gypsum, which is used in the construction industry for making plasterboard. And the dry flue gas desulfurization process produces solid waste that may be landfilled. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here statement 1 is correct. That is, flue gas desulfurization is a critical technology used to reduce sulfur dioxide emissions from the exhaust gases of the fossil fuel power plants and other industrial processes. And statement 2 is also correct. That is, India is the world's largest emitter of sulfur dioxide. And also statement 3 is correct. That is, power plants are the largest source of sulfur dioxide emission. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that according to the Environmental Protection Agency, which of the following is the largest source of the sulfur dioxide emissions? And given, locomotives using fossil fuels, option B, ships using fossil fuels, option D, extraction of metals from ores, and option D, power plants using fossil fuels. And hence the correct answer is option D. That is, as we have learned, power plants using fossil fuels is the largest source of sulfur dioxide emissions. Coming to the next question, with reference to the India CARICOM Summit, consider the following statements. And given, it aims to promote trade and economic progress in Asian nations. Second, Georgetown, Guyana is a principal administrative organ of the community. Third, the chairmanship of the community is rotated every 6 months among the member countries. And asked which of the above statements is or are incorrect. Now let us learn about it. CARICOM, that is Caribbean Community Common Market Summit, is a coalition of 20 Caribbean developing nations. Its primary purpose is to create an economic and political community which collaborates to formulate regional policies and promotes trade and economic progress. Second India CARICOM Summit held at Georgetown, Guyana recently in November. Coming to its members, it has 15 member states and 6 associate members. Here, the chairmanship of the community is rotated every 6 months among the member countries' heads. Its secretariat lies in Georgetown, Guyana, which is the principal administrative organ of the community and headed by the Secretary General, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the community. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here the statement 1 is incorrect, that is, it aims to promote trade and economic progress in developing nations. And statement 2 is correct. That is, Georgetown, Guyana is a principal administrative organ of the community. And also statement 3 is correct. That is, the chairmanship of the community is rotated every 6 months among the member countries' heads. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to the United Nations Credentials Committee, consider the following statements, and given it is a committee set up by the United Nations Security Council and works under its supervision. Second, it traditionally meets in March, June and September every year. Third, it assesses the credentials of all UN members before submitting a report to the General Assembly for approval. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. Credentials Committee is appointed at the beginning of each regular sessions of General Assembly. It consists of 9 members who are appointed by the General Assembly on the proposal of the President of India. The committee reports to the Assembly on the credentials of representatives. Here in statement 1, it is a committee set up by the United Nations General Assembly, not the United Nations Security Council. Hence statement 1 is incorrect. And statement 2 is also incorrect because at the start of every regular session of the General Assembly, a credentials committee is appointed. The committee typically convenes in November and presents the report for adoption to the General Assembly in December. And here statement 3 is correct. That is, it assesses the credentials of all UN members before submitting a report to the General Assembly for approval. Hence the correct answer is option A. Coming to the next question, which of the following statements regarding Charadia Madam is or are correct? And given it was built by the founder Chowlung Shukapa in 1229th century. Second, these are burial tombs exclusively for Ahom kings. Third, these are usually surrounded by a protective wall. And asked, select the correct answer using the quotes given below. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. Charadia Maidam or Pyramids of Assam was the original capital of Ahom kings, which was built in about 1229th century by Chowlung Shukapa, the founder of dynasty. Coming to its key features, Maidam, also known as burial mounds, are earthen mounds used as tombs for the Ahom kings and nobles. These mounds are constructed using layers of earth and stone over which a dome-like structure was built. Basically, this site is a group of burial mounds, some of which are very large, making the graves of the important figures from the Ahom dynasty. Here it holds historical significance because it is associated with Ahom dynasty, which ruled Assam for about 600 years, and this site contains burial tombs of Ahom kings, queens and nobles. Significantly, the burial practices at Charadia Maidam were a part of the Ahom royal traditions, which were influenced by both indigenous beliefs and Taoism. They followed a mix of local animistic and Taoist religious practices, and these can be seen reflected in the funerary rites and the construction of the Maidams, which is important for understanding the religious syncretism and ritualistic life of the Ahoms. Coming to the architectural style, they are constructed with large earth mounds, often surrounded by stone pillars and walls. They are a unique blend of indigenous burial practices and some elements of Taoist architecture. Here the most prominent feature is the presence of stone structures and pillars that mark the boundaries of the burial sites and are usually surrounded by a protective wall. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here the statement 1 is correct. That is, it was built in about 1229 century by Chowling Shukapa, the founder of the dynasty. And statement 2 is incorrect because burial mounds are earthen mounds used as tombs for the home kings, queens and nobles. And statement 3 is correct. That is, the most prominent feature is the presence of stone structures and pillars that mark the boundaries of the burial sites and are usually surrounded by a protective wall. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to the Indian history, Alexander Rhea, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewell, James Burgess and Walter Elliot are associated with, and given archaeological excavations. B. Establishment of English press in colonial India. C. Establishment of churches in princely states. And D. Construction of railways in colonial India. Here the correct answer is option A, that is Alexander Rhea, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewell, James Burgess and Walter Elliot are associated with archaeological excavations. Now coming to the next question. Consider the following, and given it aims to establish a sustainable human presence in geosynchronous orbit. Second, it is a collaboration mission by Axiom Space, ISRO and NASA. Third, Axiom Mission 1 is the first private space flight to International Space Station. And asked, how many of the above statements relates to Axiom 4 mission? Now let us learn about it. Axiom 4 mission is the fourth mission by private space company Axiom Space in collaboration with ISRO and NASA and would be launched by a SpaceX rocket. The mission aims to continue Axiom Space pioneering efforts to establish a sustainable human presence in low Earth orbit. Coming to its objectives, first, commercial space endeavors, which will enable commercial activities in space, showcasing viable businesses platforms. Second, international collaboration. Its diverse international crew will boost global space partnerships. Third, research and development. That is, it supports microgravity experiments in material science, biology and Earth observations. Coming to its key features, the mission uses a SpaceX Dragon spacecraft launched atop of Falcon 9 rocket, and the crew will consist of professional astronauts and private individuals including researchers and potential tourists. It is expected to be a short duration mission lasting approximately 14 days. There, the crew will conduct scientific experiments, perform technology demonstrations and engage in educational outreach. Significantly, the Axiom Space long-term vision includes building the world's first commercial space station, and it is a part of the company's broader plan to eventually transition from the International Space Station to their own independent orbital outpost. This collaboration between ISRO, Axiom Space and NASA is a significant leap towards international space cooperation. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here, the statement 1 is incorrect because the mission aims to continue Axiom Space pioneering efforts to establish a sustainable human presence in low Earth orbit. And statement 2 is correct because this mission is a collaboration between ISRO, Axiom Space and NASA. And statement 3 is correct. That is, Axiom Mission 1 is the first private space flight to International Space Station. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following pairs is or are correctly matched, and given spacecraft and purpose, and asked select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here, the Cassini-Huygens mission was a joint project by NASA, the European Space Agency and Italian Space Agency to study Saturn and its system, including its rings and moons. Hence, the first pair is incorrect. And Messenger, that is Mercury Surface, Space Environment, Geochemistry and Ranging, was a 7th Discovery class mission and the first spacecraft to orbit Mercury. Its primary goal was to study the geology, magnetic field and chemical composition of the planet. Hence, the second pair is correct. And the twin spacecraft Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were launched by NASA for exploring the outer solar system. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question. With reference to National Mission on Natural Farming, consider the following statements and given. First, it is a chemical-free farming system. Second, it is under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Third, it uses only inputs produced from livestock and plant resources. And asked which of the statements given above are incorrect. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. National Mission on Natural Farming is a chemical-free farming system using only inputs produced from livestock and plant resources. Its objective is to reduce dependency on chemical fertilizers and pesticides while promoting sustainable and eco-friendly agricultural practices. Its initial focus is on districts with high fertilizer consumption. Coming to the benefits of natural farming, first, economic, which reduces input costs for farmers and lowers dependency on external chemical inputs. Second, environmental benefits. That is, it regenerates soil health and fertility and builds resilience to climate risk like waterlogging, floods and drought by enhancing soil carbon content, water use efficiency and biodiversity. Third, health. That is, it mitigates health risks associated with chemical fertilizers and pesticides and provides healthier and more nutritious food. Fourth, sustainability. That is, it has healthier ecosystem for future generations. Coming to its key features of National Mission on Natural Farming. First, it expands natural farming to 7.5 lakh hectares and engages 1 crore farmers within 2 years. Second, the total budget is 2,481 crore shared between center and state till 2025 to 26. Third, it establishes 15,000 clusters across Gram Panchayats. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is correct because National Mission on Natural Farming is a chemical-free farming system using only inputs produced from livestock and plant resources. And statement 2 is correct because it is under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. And statement 3 is correct. That is, it uses only inputs produced from livestock and plant resources. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to organic farming in India, consider the following statements. And given, the National Program for Organic Production is operated under the guidelines and directions of the Union Ministry of Rural Development. Second, the Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority functions as the Secretariat for the implementations of National Program for Organic Production. And third, Sikhism has become India's first fully organic state. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here, Ministry of Commerce and Industry has implemented the National Program for Organic Production since 2001. The program involves the accreditation of certification bodies, standards for organic production, promotion of organic farming and marketing, etc. Hence, the correct answer is option B. Here the statement 1 is incorrect because the National Program for Organic Production is operated by the Ministry of Commerce and Industries. And statement 2 is correct. That is, the Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority functions as a secretariat for implementation of National Program for Organic Production. And statement 3 is also correct. That is, Sikkim has become India's first fully organic state. Coming to the next question. What is GSAT 20 sometimes seen in the news? And given, option A, an Israeli navigation satellite, option B, India's communication satellite, option C, an American anti-missile system, and option D, Japan's weather forecasting satellite. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt this question. Okay, let us learn about it. GSAT 20 is India's latest communication satellite and high-tech heavyweight satellite with 4,700 kgs. And it will be a high throughput capacity of 48 gigabits per second. Significantly, it is made by ISRO and it has been made to cover all of India but with a special emphasis on providing connectivity for northeastern India. Additionally, it will be owned and operated by ISRO's commercial arm New Space India Limited. Also, ISRO opted for SpaceX to launch GSAT 20. From this, the correct answer is option B. That is, GSAT 20 is India's latest communications satellite. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, consider the following statements. And given, IRNSS has 3 satellites in geostationary and 4 satellites in geosynchronous orbits. Second, IRNSS covers entire India and about 5,500 square kilometers beyond its borders. Third, India will have its own satellite navigation system with full global coverage by the middle of 2019. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here, IRNSS is an independent regional navigation satellite system being developed by India. and it is designed to provide accurate position information service to users in India as well as the region extending up to 1500 kilometers from its boundary, which is its primary service area. Here IRNSS will provide two types of services, namely standard positioning service, which is provided to all the users, and second, restricted service, which is encrypted service provided only to the authorized users. Also, IRNSS consists of a constellation of 8 satellites, and 3 satellites are located in geostationary orbit and remaining 4 are located in geosynchronous orbits. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here the statement 1 is correct. That is, as we have learned, Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System consists of a constellation of 8 satellites, and 3 are located in geostationary orbit and remaining 4 are located in geosynchronous orbits. And statement 2 is incorrect because IRNSS is designed to provide accurate position information service to users in India as well as the region extending up to 1500 km from its boundary, which is its primary service area. And statement 3 is also incorrect. That is, IRNSS was never intended to provide global coverage. Hence, option A will be the correct answer. Coming to the next question, consider the following statements and given PAN card is a unique identifier linking individuals to the tax system. Second, Income Tax Department has approved for PAN 2.0 initiative and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now you can pause the video and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. Permanent account number is a 10-character alphanumeric identifier issued by the Income Tax Department available on application or automatic allocation. Primarily, it serves as a unique identifier linking individuals and entities to the tax system. Additionally, it tracks tax payments, tax deducted at source or tax collected at source credits, and income returns, and it also monitors financial transactions and official communications. Permanent account number issued by the Income Tax Department with the help of authorized district level PAN agency. Also, let us learn about PAN 2.0 initiative. PAN 2.0 initiative is approved by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Its financial allocation is Rs 1,435 crore. Coming to its key objectives, first, ease of use, that is, it streamlines taxpayer registration services with faster, high-quality delivery. Second, data consistency, such that establishing a single source of truth for reliable and accurate data. Third, sustainability, that is, it introduces eco-friendly processes and optimizing costs. Fourth, enhanced security, which strengthens infrastructure to ensure data security. Coming to the features of PAN 2.0, first, technology-driven transformation, that is, a re-engineered process for taxpayer registration services and enhanced digital experience for users. Second, upgraded ecosystem, which builds on the existing PAN or TAN 1.0 system and consolidates core and non-core activities. Third, common identifier, which aligns with the Digital India vision and establishes PAN as a common identifier for all digital systems of specified government agencies. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, statement 1 is correct, that is, PAN card is a unique identifier linking individuals to the tax system. And statement 2 is incorrect because PAN 2.0 initiative is approved by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements and given Aadhaar card can be used as a proof of citizenship or domicile. Second, once issued, Aadhaar number cannot be deactivated or omitted by the issuing authority, and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here, statement 1 is incorrect because according to the section 9 of the Aadhaar Act 2016, the Aadhaar number or the authentication thereof shall not by itself confer any right of or be proof of citizenship or domicile in respect of an Aadhaar number holder. And statement 2 is also incorrect because the issuing authority UDAI has the right to deactivate or omit an Aadhaar number. Hence, the correct answer is option D. Coming to the next question, consider the following statements and given statement 1 as SOFA report analyzes the cost of food and how to make agri-food systems more sustainable. Statement 2 as it is published by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs and asked which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. Please try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. SOFA report, that is State of Food and Agriculture report, is released by the Food and Agriculture Organization, which analyzes the cost of food and how to make agri-food systems more sustainable. Basically, it builds on the findings of 2023 edition, delving deeper into the use of true cost of agri-food systems. And it aims to help make agri-food systems more inclusive, resilient and sustainable by identifying policy interventions to transform agri-food systems, uncovering the true cost of food and introducing the concept of hidden environmental, health and social cost and benefits of agri-food systems. Coming to its key findings, first, providing financial and regulatory incentives to advance the adoption of sustainable practices along the food supply chain. Second, to limit the power imbalances between agri-food system stakeholders. Third, promoting healthier diets by enacting policies that make nutritious food more affordable and accessible. Fourth, to reduce health-related hidden costs. Fifth, incentivizing reductions in greenhouse gases and nitrogen emissions. Sixth, empowering consumer with clear, accessible information about the environmental, social and health impacts of food choices. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here the statement 1 is correct, that is, SOFA report analyzes the cost of food and how to make agri-food systems more sustainable. And statement 2 is incorrect because it is published by the Food and Agriculture Organization. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that the Global Competitiveness Report is published by the and given option A, International Monetary Fund, option B, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, and option C, World Economic Forum, and D, World Bank. So the Global Gender Gap Index was released by the World Economic Forum. That is, option A is the correct answer. Additionally, it measures across 4 key dimensions, that is, economic participation and opportunity, second, educational attainment, third, health and survival, and fourth, political empowerment. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements and given, it promotes the peaceful use of nuclear energy. Second, it was awarded Nobel Prize in 2005 and asked which of the statements given above relates to International Atomic Energy Agency. Please try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. International Atomic Energy Agency is an intergovernmental organization which aims to promote the peaceful use of nuclear energy and to inhibit its use for any military purpose, including nuclear weapons. It was established in 1957 as the world's Atoms for Peace organization with the United Nations and governed by its own founding treaty. Its headquarters lies in Vienna, that is in Austria, and it reports to both United Nations General Assembly and United Nations Security Council. Significantly, it was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2005 for its work for a safe and peaceful world, and it has 178 member states, India being one of the founding members of it, mainly which works to promote the safe, secure and peaceful use of nuclear technologies. It applies nuclear safeguards, that is to verify that nuclear activities remain peaceful and detect and deter the diversion, including weapon-related purposes. Additionally, it is mandated by the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which serves as the first line of defense against nuclear weapons proliferation. Also, it assists its member states and promotes the exchange of scientific and technical information between them. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here the statement 1 is correct, that is, International Atomic Energy Agency promotes the peaceful use of nuclear energy. And statement 2 is also correct because it was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2005 for its work for a safe and peaceful world. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements and given, the nuclear security summits are periodically held under the aegis of the United Nations. And second, the International Panel on Fissile Materials is an organ of International Atomic Energy Agency, and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Basically, the goal of the Nuclear Security Summit is to prevent nuclear terrorism worldwide. These summits provide a forum for leaders to discuss issues. They help to reinforce our dedication to the highest standards of nuclear material safeguarding, and it is periodically held under the aegis of United Nations. Hence, statement 1 is incorrect. Coming to the statement 2, an international organization called the International Atomic Energy Agency works to prevent nuclear energy from being used for any kind of military purpose, including the development of nuclear weapons. The United Nations Security Council and General Assembly both receive reports from International Atomic Energy Agency. So, the International Panel on Fissile Energy is unrelated to the International Atomic Energy Agency. Hence, the statement 2 is also incorrect. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Coming to the next question, consider the following pairs and given fauna and naturally found in and asked how many of the above pairs is or are correctly matched. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Recently, Asiatic Lion was in news. According to a report, economic drivers for communities, co-benefits of abundant cattle for lions behind delicate human-lion coexistence in Gujarat. And Gujarat is the only home for Asiatic lion and calls to partially move them outside the state, including orders of the Supreme Court. Now let us learn about Asiatic lion. The scientific name of Asiatic lion is Panthera leo persica. Persian lion, Indian lion are its alternative names. Significantly, it is found only in India, primarily in Gujarat. Coming to its habitat, Gir National Park and Sanctuary, the only natural habitat of Asiatic lion. And the Gir forest are the largest contiguous stretch of dry deciduous forest in western Indian semi-arid region. Now let us learn about characteristics of Asiatic lion. It is slightly smaller than African lions, with a longitudinal fold of skin running along its belly, which distinguishes it from the African lions. Its fur color ranges from ruddy tawny, sandy, or buff grey with a silvery sheen. And the males have moderate mane growth around the top of the head, leaving the ears visible. Significantly, the IUCN status of Asiatic lion is vulnerable, and Appendix 1 under CITES, and it is protected under Wildlife Protection Act 1972 as Schedule 1. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here, pangolin is naturally found in both Asia and Africa. An Asiatic lion is naturally found in India, as we have learnt. And rusty spotted cat is naturally found in India, Sri Lanka and Nepal. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements and given Asiatic lion is naturally found in India only. Second, double-humped camel is naturally found in India only. Third, one-horned rhinoceros is naturally found in India only. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. As we have learned, Asiatic lion is naturally found only in India, primarily in Gujarat. Hence, statement 1 is correct. And double-humped camel is originally found in Gobi Desert, and it can also be found in cold deserts regions of China, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Mongolia, India, and parts of Afghanistan. Hence, statement 2 is incorrect. Coming to the third statement, one-horned rhinoceros is naturally found not only in India but also in Bhutan, Nepal, Indonesia and Malaysia. Hence, statement 3 is also incorrect. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. Coming to the next question, consider the following pairs and given corridors and their project and asked how many of the above pairs is or are correctly matched. Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. India Middle East Europe corridor is a proposed multimodal transportation network. As we see in the picture, it connects India, the Middle East and Europe via rail, ship-to-rail networks and road transport routes. Here, India, the USA, Saudi Arabia, UAE, European Union, Italy, France and Germany are the signatories. Significantly, it includes an electricity cable, that is a hydrogen pipeline and a high-speed data cable. It aims at multimodal connectivity project, that is to enhance trade infrastructure between India, the Arabian Peninsula and Mediterranean region and Europe. Additionally, it is supported by Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment, a US-led initiative to address infrastructure gaps in developing nations. Coming to its objectives, first, to establish a comprehensive transportation network across India, Middle East and Europe. Second, to enhance trade efficiency, reduce cost and increase economic unity. Third, to promote employment generation and lower greenhouse gases emissions. Fourth, to transform Asia-Europe Middle East integration by facilitating seamless connectivity. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, India Middle East Europe corridor is a proposed multimodal transportation network project, and Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar Economic Corridor is proposed transportation which connects Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar through road, rail, water and air links, promoting trade, investment and regional connectivity. And East-West Corridor is a major highway project in India and it is a part of the Golden Quadrilateral project. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that with reference to India's projects on connectivity, consider the following statements. And given East-West Corridor under Golden Quadrilateral project connects Dibrugarh and Surat. Second, trilateral highway connects Moreh in Manipur and Chiang Mai in Thailand via Myanmar. Third, Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar. Economic Corridor connects Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh and Kunming in China. And asked, how many of the above statements are correct? Here, East-West Corridor is a major highway project in India and it is a part of Golden Quadrilateral and it connects 4 major metropolitan cities, that is Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. Hence, statement 1 is incorrect. And in statement 2, Trilateral Highway is a significant regional connectivity project that aims to establish a road link between India, Myanmar and Thailand. It connects Moreh in India and Mae Sot in Thailand via Myanmar, but it does not extend up to Chiang Mai in Thailand. Hence, statement 2 is also incorrect. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Coming to the next question, which of the following statements regarding chikungunya is or are correct? And given, it is a bacterial disease caused by Aedes aegypti. Second, it causes severe joint pain and has no specific treatment. Third, currently there is no vaccine for this disease. And asked, select the answer using the codes given below. Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Chikungunya is a mosquito-borne viral disease caused by chikungunya virus. It comes under the family of Togaviridae. Here the name derives from Kimakonda language meaning to become contorted, referring to the severe joint pain caused by the disease. It is primarily transmitted by Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes, which also transmits dengue and Zika viruses. Now coming to the transmission cycle, mosquito feeds on an infected persons. Then virus replicates in mosquito. After that, mosquito transmits the virus into a new host during feeding. Now coming to the detection methods. First, RT-PCR detects the virus during the first week of illness. Second, antibody test, which detects immune response post-infection. Coming to its treatment, it has no specific treatment, but the patient can use paracetamol or acetaminophen for fever and pain. And rest, hydration are recommended. Also, there are no vaccine currently licensed and several are under development. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here the statement 1 is incorrect because chikungunya is a mosquito-borne viral disease caused by the chikungunya virus. It is primarily transmitted by Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. And statement 2 is correct because it causes severe joint pain and has no specific treatment. And also statement 3 is correct because there are no vaccine currently licensed and several are under development. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that which of the following diseases can be transmitted from one person to another through tattooing? And given chikungunya, second, hepatitis B, and third, HIV/AIDS. And asked, select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here, tattooing means a permanent mark or design which is made on the skin with tattoo ink, right? We all know this. And here the question says that by tattooing, which of the following diseases can be transmitted? Here in statement 1, chikungunya is a mosquito-borne viral disease which is transmitted by Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. Hence, statement 1 is incorrect. And in statement 2 and 3, HIV/AIDS and hepatitis B are contacted by coming into touch with contaminated bodily fluids or blood. These diseases can spread from one person to another if tattoo equipment is not adequately sanitized. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question. With reference to Chief Justice of India, consider the following. And given, he is appointed by the President of India under the Article 124 of the Indian Constitution. Second, he can appoint a judge of High Court as an ad hoc judge of Supreme Court for temporary basis. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are incorrect? Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. The Chief Justice of India holds the highest judicial position in the country, heading the Supreme Court of India. He is appointed by the President of India and plays a crucial role in the judiciary and is responsible for ensuring the efficient functioning of the Supreme Court. Coming to the constitutional provisions, the Chief Justice of India is appointed under Article 124 of the Constitution of India. Additionally, the Constitution does not specify any special procedure for the appointment of CJI, but mentions the appointment of Supreme Court judges. Coming to its term, the Chief Justice of India and other judges of Supreme Court hold office until they attain the age of 65 years as per Article 124 Clause 2. Additionally, he plays a significant role in the collegium system, which is responsible for the appointment and transfer of judges in the Supreme Court and High Courts. And the collegium consists of the CJI, that is Chief Justice of India, and the 4 senior most judges of the Supreme Court. Now coming to the powers and responsibilities of the CJI. First, administrative powers. The Chief Justice of India allocates cases to the Supreme Court benches and supervises judicial functions. And he also responsible for the roster system, which determines which judges hear which cases. Also, we can transfer cases from one court to another court. Second, judicial powers. The Chief Justice of India presides over constitutional bench that decide important questions of law, including those related to the Constitution. They also play a crucial role in interpreting constitutional amendments and fundamental rights. Third, appointment of judges. As head of the collegium, the CJI recommends appointments and transfers of judges in the Supreme Court and High Courts. These recommendations are forwarded to the President of India for approval, and he can appoint a judge of a High Court as an ad hoc judge of Supreme Court for temporary basis. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here the statement 1 is correct because under the Article 124 of Indian Constitution, the Chief Justice of India is appointed by the President of India. And statement 2 is also correct because he can appoint a judge of a High Court as an ad hoc judge of Supreme Court for temporary basis. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to Indian judiciary, consider the following statements. And given, any retired judge of the Supreme Court of India can be called back to sit and act as a Supreme Court judge by the Chief Justice of India with prior permission of the President of India. Second, a High Court in India has the power to review its own judgment as the Supreme Court does. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here the statement 1 is correct because a retired Supreme Court judge or a retired High Court judge who is suitably qualified to serve as a Supreme Court judge may be asked by the Chief Justice of India to serve as a Supreme Court judge for a limited time, only with the prior approval of the President of India. And the individual to be appointed in that capacity may he do so. The President has the authority to decide what benefits such a judge is entitled to. Additionally, he will have all the authority, privileges and powers of a Supreme Court judge. And here statement 2 is incorrect because the Supreme Court of India has the authority to examine its own rulings. And also High Court also has the power to review and correct its own judgment or order. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. Coming to the next question, consider the following and given Tampara Lake, Chilika Lake. Third, Hokersal Wetland. Fourth, Karavati Bird Sanctuary. Fifth, Kichapalli Wetland. And sixth, Pulicat Lake. And asked, which of the above are listed under Ramsar sites? Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Recently, Hokersal Wetland was in news in November because lack of rainfall impacts arrival of migratory birds in Kashmir Valley's Hokersal Wetland. Now let us learn about it. Hokersal Wetland is a Ramsar site which is located in Kashmir Valley in India. It spreads nearly 13.75 square kilometers. Coming to its ecological importance, it is a crucial habitat for migratory species including little cormorants, common shelducks and great crested grebes. Here, red beads in the wetland are the last remaining in Kashmir. Additionally, the site serves as a breeding and spawning ground for fish alongside providing a food source for wildlife. Significantly, Hokersal Wetland is a part of migratory bird route with birds migrating from Siberia, China, Central Asia and Europe, and it is home to over 232 species of birds. Each year, up to 2 million migratory species use the wetland as a stopover during winter migration. Now coming to its impacts, water shortage and rainfall deficit, illegal sand mining, encroachment, habitat degradation, and silt deposition. Hence, the correct answer is option D. That is, all these are listed in Ramsar sites. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following pairs and given wetland or lake and its location, and asked how many pairs given above are correctly matched. Hence, the correct answer is option B. That is, Hokersar wetland is located in Kashmir, Renuka wetland is located in Himachal Pradesh, Rudrasagar lake is located in Tripura, and Sassamkota lake is located in Kerala. Coming to the next question, consider the following statements regarding Food Corporation of India. And given, it is a public sector company which aims to distribute food grains through the public distribution system. Second, it was set up under the public distribution system. Third, it is responsible for the purchase, storage, interstate movement and distribution of food grains. And asked which of the statements given above are correct. Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Food Corporation of India is a public sector company under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Initially, it was set up under the Food Corporations Act of 1964, responsible for the purchase, storage, interstate movement and distribution of food grains. Coming to the objectives of Food Corporation of India, first, effective price support for safeguarding the interest of the farmers. Second, distribution of food grains throughout the country for the public distribution system. Third, maintaining satisfactory level of operational and buffer stocks of food grains to ensure national food security. Coming to the role of Food Corporation of India, it maintains strategic food grain stocks and delivers food grains to state governments and agencies from its base depots from distribution through fair price shops. And it also distributes food grains to consumers, especially vulnerable sections of the society, at affordable prices. And it stabilizes food grain prices in the market. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, the statement 1 is correct. That is, Food Corporation of India is a public sector company which aims to distribute food grains throughout the country for the public distribution system. And statement 2 is incorrect because it was set up under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. And statement 3 is correct because it is responsible for the purchase, storage, interstate movement and distribution of food grains. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that the economic cost of food grains to the Food Corporation of India is minimum support price and bonus paid to the farmers plus, and given option A, transportation cost only, B, interest cost only, option C, procurement incidentals and distribution cost, option D, procurement incidentals and charges for godowns. Here, as we have learned, Food Corporation of India is a public sector company under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Set up under the Food Corporations Act of 1964, responsible for the purchase, storage, interstate movement and distribution of food grains. And the economic cost of food grains to the Food Corporation of India is minimum support price and bonus paid to the farmers plus for the procurement incidentals and distribution cost. Hence, the correct answer is option C. Coming to the next question, consider the following countries and given Lebanon, Egypt, Jordan, Turkey, Syria and Iraq, and asked how many of the above are boundaries of Israel. Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Basically, Israel-Hezbollah was in news recently because both have entered into a ceasefire after 13 months of conflict that escalated in September. The agreement was reached following Israel's Security Cabinet approving a US-backed proposal modeled after United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701 from the 2006 conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. Coming to the key aspects of 2024 Israel-Lebanon ceasefire agreement. First, ceasefire framework. The agreement involves a 60-day halt to hostilities during which Hezbollah is to end its armed presence in southern Lebanon and Israeli troops are to return to their side of the border. Second, withdrawal of forces. Israel is required to gradually withdraw its forces from southern Lebanon over the next 60 days. The Lebanese army will deploy in the area as part of the agreement. Third, international support. US and France commit to supporting international efforts for capacity building for the Lebanese armed forces and economic development to stabilize Lebanon. Now the boundaries of Israel are Lebanon, Egypt, Jordan and Syria. Hence, the correct answer is option D. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following pairs and given regions often mentioned in news and reasons for being in news, and asked how many of the above pairs are correctly matched. Here North Kivu and Ituri are the eastern provinces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Nagorno-Karabakh is a mountainous and heavily forested region that under international law is recognized as a part of Azerbaijan. And Kherson and Zaporizhzhia is a province in the Ukraine. Hence option D is the correct answer. Coming to the next question, consider the following statements and given domestic systemically important banks are mandated to maintain additional capital buffers to ensure their resilience. Second, DSIBs are classified by Reserve Bank of India and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Domestic systemically important banks are the banks identified as having the potential to cause systemic disruption if they fail due to their size and importance in the economy. Additionally, they are subject to stricter regulatory requirements than other banks and are mandated to maintain additional capital buffers, undergo stress tests, and ensure recovery and resolution planning to enhance their resilience. Here, DSIBs are classified into buckets based on their systemic importance scores determined through a comprehensive assessment of their interconnectedness and other risk factors. Here bucket 1 includes lower systemic risk and bucket 4 includes highest systemic risk. The current DSIB classification of RBI are State Bank of India, HDFC and ICICI Bank. Hence the correct answer is option C. Here both the statements given are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question which says that what is the purpose of setting up of small finance banks in India and given to supply credit to small business units, to supply credit to small and marginal farmers, to encourage young entrepreneurs to set up business particularly in rural areas and asked select the correct answer using the code given below. Basically, small finance banks in India are specific segment of banking created by RBI under the guidance of Government of India with the objective of furthering financial inclusion by primarily extending basic banking services to unserved and undeserved sections including small and marginal farmers, small business units, micro and small industries and unorganized entities. Here in statement 1, to supply credit to small business units. Yes, this is right. Small finance banks in India supplies credit to small business units to boost their operational capabilities and growth. Here in statement 2, to supply credit to small and marginal farmers. It is also correct because small finance banks aims to enhance financial inclusion by providing banking services to the unprivileged and unbanked sections of the society including small and marginal farmers. And here in statement 3, to encourage young entrepreneurs to set up business particularly in rural areas. This is incorrect because this is not the purpose of small finance banks, but they may have indirectly support young entrepreneurs by providing credit which may help to establish businesses. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. Coming to the next question, with reference to production linked incentive scheme, which of the following statements is or are correct? And given its purpose is to boost domestic manufacturing and reduce import dependence. Second, it is a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Productive Linked Incentive Scheme is launched in April 2020 as a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan with the objective of to boost domestic manufacturing and reduce import dependence, to increase exports by making Indian products competitive, and third, encourage foreign and domestic firms to set up production in India. Additionally, this PLI scheme has increased mobile phone and pharma manufacturing. Second, growth in exports of electronics and handsets. Third, increased FDI inflows in manufacturing sectors. Coming to its challenges, low domestic value addition and limited participation of Indian companies due to scale and cost barriers. Third, reluctance of global supply chains to relocate to India. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here the statement 1 is correct because the primary purpose of PLI scheme is to boost domestic manufacturing and reduce import dependence, and to increase exports by making Indian products competitive, and to encourage foreign and domestic firms to set up production in India, as we have learned. And here statement 2 is also correct because it is a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to Stand Up India scheme, which of the following statements is or are correct? And given its purpose is to promote entrepreneurship among SC, ST and women entrepreneurs. Second, it provides for refinance through SIDBI. And asked, select the correct answer using the quote given below. Here both the statements given above are correct. Hence option C is the correct answer. Additionally, Stand Up India scheme was launched by the Ministry of Finance on 5th April 2016 to promote entrepreneurship at grassroots level, focusing on economic empowerment and job creation. Coming to the next question. Consider the following statements in respect of Hague Award, and given the award recognizes significant contributions to areas of Chemical Weapons Convention. Second, it was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2013. And asked, which of the above given statements is or are incorrect? Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. It was created to honor individuals and organizations that have made significant contributions towards achieving the goals of Chemical Weapons Convention. Initially in 2013, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in recognition of its extensive efforts to eliminate chemical weapons. And to preserve the legacy of this achievement, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons established the Hague Award in collaboration with the Municipality of The Hague in 2014. Additionally, it gives 90,000 euros cash prize, which is distributed annually to up to 3 recipients. The award recognizes significant contributions to areas related to the Chemical Weapons Convention, including preventing the re-emergence of chemical weapons, supporting national implementation, promoting chemistry for peaceful purposes, preventing the threat of chemical terrorism, ensuring preparedness for chemical incidents and emergencies, promoting the awareness of the convention and supporting the victims of chemical weapons, eliminating chemical weapons, and promoting the successful conclusion of the convention. Hence, the correct answer is option D. And here both the statements given are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements in respect of the Laureus World Sports Award, which was instituted in the year 2000. And given, American golfer Tiger Woods was the first winner of this award. Second, the award was received mostly by Formula 1 players so far. Third, Roger Federer received this award maximum number of times compared to others. And asked, which of the above statements are correct? Here, the Laureus World Sports Award honors, recognizes and celebrates the world's greatest athletes, the inspirational power of sport and its ability to change lives. Also, the Academy can also grant discretionary awards such as Laureus Lifetime Achievement Award. The first winner of this award was the American golfer Tiger Woods. Hence, the statement 1 is correct. And here in statement 2, the award is received mostly by the tennis players, that is 11 times. Hence, the statement 2 is incorrect. And in statement 3, Roger Federer has received the Laureus World Sports Award the greatest number of times, that is 5 times, compared to any athlete. Therefore, statement 3 is correct. Hence, the correct answer is option C. Coming to the next question, consider the following statements and given statement 1 as, according to the Basic Animal Husbandry Report, Uttar Pradesh is the largest milk producing state in India. And statement 2 as, India's rank first in milk production globally. And asked, which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? Please pause the video and try to attempt the question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. On 26 November 2024, that is on National Milk Day, Basic Animal Husbandry was released by the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, and it is prepared by the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Now coming to the production estimates for 2023 to 24. First, milk production. In 2023 to 24, the total production of milk was 239.30 million tons, and the top 5 milk producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. And the highest annual growth rate includes West Bengal, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. Additionally, India ranked first in milk production globally. Second, egg production. In 2023 to 24, the total production of egg was 142.77 billion eggs, and the top 5 egg producing states are Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, West Bengal and Karnataka. And the highest annual growth rate includes Ladakh, Manipur and Uttar Pradesh. Now third, milk production. The top 5 meat producing states are West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And the highest annual growth rate includes Assam and Uttarakhand. Now fourth, wool production. In 2023 to 24, the total production of wool was 33.69 million kgs. And the top 5 wool producing states are Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Himachal Pradesh. And the highest annual growth rate includes Punjab and Tamil Nadu. From this, the correct answer is option A. That is, according to Basic Animal Husbandry Report, Uttar Pradesh is the largest milk producing state in India, as we have seen. And India ranks first in milk production globally. So both these statements are correct. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following statements. And given, Animal Welfare Board of India is established under the Environment Protection Act 1986. Second, National Tiger Conservation Authority is a statutory body. Third, National Ganga River Basin Authority is chaired by the Prime Minister. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here, the Animal Welfare Board of India is a statutory body on animal welfare laws and promotes animal welfare in the country. It is established in 1962 under Section 4 of the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960. The board consists of 28 members, including 6 members of parliament, that is 2 members from Rajya Sabha and 4 members from Lok Sabha. Hence, statement 1 is incorrect because it was established in 1962 under Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960. Next, National Tiger Conservation Authority is a statutory body under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. National Tiger Conservation Authority has been fulfilling its mandate with the ambit of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 for strengthening tiger conservation in the country by retaining an oversight through advisories or normative guidelines based on appraisal of tiger status, ongoing conservation initiatives and recommendations of specially constituted committees. Hence, statement 2 is correct. And National Ganga River Basin Authority has been established through the Gazette notification of the Government of India with the objectives of ensuring effective abatement of pollution and conservation of River Ganga by adopting a river basin approach to promote intersectoral coordination for comprehensive planning and management, and maintaining environmental flows in the River Ganga with the aim of ensuring water quality and environmentally sustainable development, and it's chaired by the Prime Minister. Hence, statement 3 is also correct. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Coming to the next question, Network Readiness Index, which evaluates network-based readiness of economies, is published by the and given International Telecommunication Union, B. Portulance Institute, C. United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, and option D. World Trade Organization. Pause the video and try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Network Readiness Index is a global benchmark that evaluates the network-based readiness of economies. It is published annually by the Portulance Institute, Washington, D.C. Additionally, it ranks 133 economies based on their performance across 4 pillars, that is, technology, second, people, third, governance, and impact, incorporating a total of 54 variables. Coming to the India's performance in Network Readiness Index 2024, India improved its position by 11 slots, moving from 60th rank in 2023 to 40th rank in 2024, and the score was increased from 49.93 in 2023 to 53.63 in 2024. Significantly, India's strong performance is attributed to significant achievements in its telecommunication infrastructure, digital transformation and technological innovation. From this, the correct answer is option B, that is, Network Readiness Index is published by the Portulance Institute. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that India's ranking in the Ease of Doing Business Index is sometimes seen in the news. Which of the following has declared that ranking? And given option A, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, option B, World Economic Forum, option C, World Bank, and option D, World Trade Organization. Basically, the ease of doing business is a measure of an economy's position to the best regulatory practices, and it is published by the World Bank. Additionally, ease of doing business is an index published by the World Bank. It is an aggregate figure that includes different parameters which define the ease of doing business in a country. Economies are ranked based on their ease of doing business from 1 to 190. A high ease of doing business ranking means the regulatory environment is more conducive to the starting and operation of a local firm. Hence, the correct answer is option C, that is World Bank. Coming to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding direct benefit transfer. And given, it is a welfare scheme which transfers subsidies directly to eligible bank accounts. Second, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act is brought under the scheme in 2014. Third, Aadhaar-linked bank accounts is mandatory to avail the benefits. And asked, which of the above statements is or are correct? Try to attempt this question. I hope you got the right answer. If not, let us learn about it. Direct Benefit Transfer is a welfare scheme launched by the Government of India on January 1st, 2013, which aims to transfer the subsidies and benefits directly to bank accounts of eligible individuals. Initially, it was created in the Planning Commission to act as the nodal point for the implementation of direct benefit transfer programs. Coming to its objectives, curbing pilferage and duplication, accurate targeting of the beneficiary, third, reduced delay in payments, and electronic transfer of benefits and minimizing levels involved in benefit flow. Now coming to the components of direct benefit transfer. First, beneficiary account validation, which includes gathering of information of beneficiary, and the bank verifies the account or Aadhaar and initiates payment through fund transfer orders. Second, payment and reconciliation. Here, on the selection of valid beneficiaries, Aadhaar-linked bank accounts are verified through NPCI, that is National Payments Corporation of India, by sending payment instructions to PFMS, which in turn is routed to banks after necessary validation of beneficiaries. Third, Aadhaar Payment Bridge. It includes gathering of information of beneficiaries such as name, address and bank account or Aadhaar, and initiates verification of bank account or Aadhaar and payment through fund transfer order. From this, the correct answer is option D. That is, it is a welfare scheme which transfers subsidies directly to eligible bank accounts. And the first statement is correct. And the second statement is also correct. That is, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act is brought under the scheme in 2014. And third statement is also correct. That is, Aadhaar-linked bank accounts is mandatory to avail the benefits. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that which of the following grants or grant direct credit assistance to rural households, and given regional rural banks. Second, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Third, land development banks. And asked, select the correct answer using the codes given below. In this, the regional rural banks and the land development banks grant direct credit assistance to rural households. But NABARD, that is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, does not provide such assistance. Hence, the correct answer is option C, that is statements 1 and 3 are correct. Coming to the next question, consider the following and given education, health, assets, electricity and employment, and asked how many of the above are dimensions of Global Multidimensional Poverty Index. Please pause the video and try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about Global Multidimensional Poverty Index. It is jointly published by the United Nations Development Programme, Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative, which aims to provide a more comprehensive view of poverty, enabling better targeting of resources and policy making. Additionally, it assesses poverty beyond just income, considering 10 dimensions, which includes education, health, housing, drinking water, sanitation and electricity. Now coming to the key findings of Global Multidimensional Poverty Report. First, global poverty and conflict. That is, 455 million of the world's poor live in conflict affected countries, where poverty alleviation efforts are often reversed. Additionally, 40% of the 1.1 billion people living in acute poverty and reside in countries experiencing war and fragility. Second, disparities between rural and urban populations. Here, 28% of the global rural population is multidimensionally poor, compared to 6.6% of the urban population. Third, peace and development. Here, the report stresses that economic growth alone is insufficient to eradicate poverty, and peace is essential to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 1, that is end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Fourth, recommendations. Here, urgent global action is needed to end conflict and promote peace. An integrated approach is required, combining poverty alleviation, humanitarian assistance, early recovery, and peace building efforts. From this, the correct answer is option B, that is education, health, asserts, and electricity are the dimensions of Global Multidimensional Poverty Index. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that the Multidimensional Poverty Index developed by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative with United Nations Development Program support covers which of the following, and given deprivation of education, health, asserts and services at household level. Second, purchasing power parity at national level. And third, extent of budget deficit and GDP growth rate at national level. And asked, select the correct answer using the codes given below. As we have learned, the Multidimensional Poverty Index supports deprivation of education, health, asserts and services at household level. So the correct answer is option A. Coming to the next question. Recently, John J. Hopfield, an American, won Nobel Prize in 2024 in physics for his contribution in, and given, machine learning with artificial neural networks. Option B, invention in the field of laser physics. Option C, electron dynamics. And option D, establishing the violation of Bell inequalities and pioneering quantum information science. Try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about Nobel Prize. It was founded by Alfred Nobel, a Swedish industrialist, inventor of dynamite and philanthropist, and the Nobel Prize was established in 1895 by Alfred Nobel. Additionally, the prizes were awarded in the fields of physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, peace and economic science. This economic science was added in 1968 by the Swedish Central Bank. Additionally, Nobel Prizes are awarded annually in Stockholm, Sweden, except the Peace Prize, which is awarded in Oslo, Norway. Now let us briefly go through the winners of Nobel Prize 2024. First, Nobel Prize in Physics. It was awarded jointly to John J. Hopfield, an American, and Geoffrey Hinton, a British Canadian, for foundational discoveries and inventions that enable machine learning with artificial neural networks. Second, Nobel Prize in Chemistry. It was awarded jointly to David Baker, an American, Demis Hassabis, a British, and John M. Jumper, an American, for computational protein design and protein structure prediction. Next, Nobel Prize in Philosophy or Medicine in 2024. It was awarded jointly to Victor Ambros and Ruvkun for discovery of microRNA and its role in post-transcriptional gene regulation. Next, Nobel Prize in Literature. It was awarded to Han Kang, a South Korean, for intense poetic prose that confronts historical traumas and exposes the fragility of human life. And lastly, Nobel Peace Prize. It was awarded to Nihon Hidenkyo for efforts to achieve a world free of nuclear weapons. From this, the correct answer is option A. That is, John J. Hopfield, an American, won Nobel Prize in Physics for his contribution in machine learning with artificial neural networks. This question has been taken with reference to the UPSC previous year question, which says that, who among the following scientists shared the Nobel Prize in Physics with his son? And given, option A, Max Planck, Albert Einstein, option C, William Henry Bragg, and option D, Enrico Fermi. Here the correct answer is option C, that is William Henry Bragg. William Henry Bragg shared the Nobel Prize in Physics with his son William Lawrence Bragg in 1995. So that's it for today, and we'll come with another monthly current affairs which will be useful for your UPSC preparation. Stay tuned for more such videos. If you like this video, please like, share and comment. Thank you.